And welcome to the weekly show. I am Chuck.
And I'm Bonnie.
And thanks for joining us on this Wednesday. So what do we have on the show today?
We have all kinds of really cool stuff today. We have a very special guest. This one I'm really looking forward to because it's a lot of information that I'm very, very curious about, and I'm a curious person, you know that. We have B from EJAutismFoundation. Okay. And she's going to talk about autism and what her foundation does and how they raise money and what they do with it and hopefully fill me in on autism and what it's all about.
And that's a local foundation?
Yes. That is local, right here on Long Island.
And then we also have Rob Balducci, and guitar player extraordinaire, and he has been around the scene for quite some time. And we'll hear how he got his start, and when he started, and where he's at now, what he's doing.
Sounds good.
And we'll be back with more of that right after this.
Hey, this is Chris Jake, and if Inravio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com.
This is Joe Larson. You should check out the 505 on Racing Show live every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or catch us on video on demand anytime, 24/7, only on the Inravio TV network.
Village Music Shop of Mastic. 1-800-HEY-DUDE. Your full-service store with personalized attention, school band instrument rentals and sales, music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups, for guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop, 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com.
Welcome back to the show.
You okay over there?
I'm enjoying the music.
I know, it's good music, right?
Yes, and it's nice to be back. It's been a little while.
It's all
since
about
we've been
that drone footage, isn't it?
Yes. No, I like the music more than the drone footage. I couldn't care less what's on the screen. I just like what's playing.
So welcome back.
Welcome back. All right, so we have with us today B, our guest, who's from EJ. I'm sorry.
Okay.
EJ. And that comes from?
EJ stands for my two boys, Eric and Jack, who have autism.
Wow. It's unusual to have two children in one family, isn't it?
It actually isn't.
Really?
Surprisingly, it isn't. In fact, I have four children, and we were really very hopeful that our fourth child would be a girl rather than a boy, because the likelihood of that child having autism as a boy is very high. And why that is, it's really unknown, but they do believe, they being whomever, that there is a genetic component to autism.
Wow.
And it's a male show?
It impacts males more than females. The ratio is 4 or 5 to 1, depending upon the literature.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yes.
Huh. I didn't know that.
So you started the foundation because of that?
Well, I started the foundation because when my boys were diagnosed with autism, we had so many services in the home, and my husband and I could not reach the kids the way these teachers did that came into the home, and then eventually when my kids went away to different programs, and we were so grateful for it. And basically, how do you give back? How do you show your gratitude? So I decided to run the New York City Marathon. I raised $11,000 doing it, and I thought, geez, I think I have something here, and just basically took it from there, decided to take it to the next level, because when you have a charity, you're eligible for matching funds, so that $11,000 could have been $22,000, and maybe if we would have marketed it more, or put it out there more, we could have done more. And it was really based out of gratitude.
Wow.
Wow, yeah.
So where do those funds go? I mean, you collect all of this, and then what do you do?
So we have a variety of events that we do throughout the year, and all the money that we raise stays on Long Island and actively supports programs that work with children diagnosed with autism. So we're all about taking care of the kids now. We're all about giving back now, and all the money stays here locally. So basically, where your money's going.
Okay.
Very nice.
And you have something coming up called Real Aid?
Yes, our Relay Walk is coming up actually this weekend. We're going to be walking right past you. But it's a relay, it's a walking relay. So it starts in East Islip, and we carry a baton. And it starts at On a Whim, that's a local business in East Islip. And we walk about 4 miles to Oakdale. And in Oakdale, we pass the baton to people who are from that area, from the Oakdale, Bohemia area. And they walk to Sayville, and Sayville folks take the baton and they walk to Patchogue. Patchogue folks take it and they walk right past here, and actually take it all the way out to Bellport, and then Bellport to Mastic, et cetera, and so forth. And so we make it out to Hampton Bays that day, and then the following day we get up and walk out to Montauk.
And how many people take part in that?
It's a relay, so it really depends on the stop. So there's we could have 20 people at a stop, or we could have one person at a stop. It really depends on how we get the word out there. This is more of a logistics than anything. We have police escort, so we can never have more than 20 people per stop anyway. And when I say we have the one person, that's usually the 5 a.m. stop in the morning. That we start out
so
in
it's around the
Southampton. No, it ends usually at 7 o'clock at night, right around 6:30, 7 o'clock at night, and then 5 o'clock the next morning we start again. And that's usually me, although we did have 2 people last year that were brave and intrepid that started out in the Hamptons.
Baton in one hand, bagel in the other.
Yeah, pretty much. If you're that brave, sometimes you might not want to have anything to eat or drink prior to the walk.
So how far does each person walk? 4 miles?
Anywhere from the distances vary, but anywhere from 3 to 7 miles, depending upon. So you basically look at. We have a spreadsheet out on our website, and you pick a spot and you pick the time, and you could say, okay, I live in Bellport, or I have something to do in the morning. I'd like to walk later. What time can I walk later? I'll do it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and show up in Eastport at this time, knowing that I'm going to walk this amount of distance. So it's very flexible. So even people that are busy that day, most people aren't busy at 5 in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning. But I know,
especially on a weekend.
Yeah, not everybody wants to get up. I recognize that. But if you want to get up and support a great cause, we're the one.
And the date on this?
May 21st and May 22nd, so this weekend coming up, so it's very cool.
Wow.
Nice. So it's Saturday and Sunday?
Saturday and Sunday, yep. No, Saturday gets us out to the Hampton Bays, and then the following day gets us out to Montauk.
So Saturday, you're going to be coming, you're the one coming?
I'm going to be walking right past you. I'll walk right past this, our stop is actually Burger King, and we pick people up there, and they walk out to Camp Aquatic. That's the next stop.
Camp Aquatic, yep. Very, very familiar.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a long walk.
It's really not that bad, but yeah, it's quite a few miles, and it should be a challenge, but it's not competitive, so it doesn't matter how fast you get there. We factor in a lot of time. As long as you get there, it's meant to be relaxed, and we carry signs. And I should have mentioned this, but we carry signs that say honk if you heart somebody with autism. So we count those signs because we count those honks because we like to think that every honk is an autism awareness moment. So we really kind of think it's pretty cool.
Which is what you're looking to do.
Yeah,
it's all about autism awareness.
This particular event is. We do other events that are much bigger, and that's obviously about raising as much money as we can so that we can give it away.
Wow. So is there any inkling of what causes autism? Do we know?
There's a lot of theories out there, and I think, there is a genetic component to it, but as far as actual causes, no, they've come up with lots of theories, some of which can, I think, sometimes be a little hurtful and harmful. And so I wish that we would, until we actually really know what it is, that we kind of just keep it under our hat, with our theories.
I had heard there was a rumor going around for a long time about the measles, mumps, rubella injection.
And that particular thing, refers to the thimerosal, the preservative that's in the MMR vaccine. And a lot of people really hold stock in that. Their kids were doing well, growing typically, developmentally, meeting all their milestones. They got the shot, and then everything changed. These people aren't making it up either. So it's it's a tough one, because the American Medical Association has basically said that that's bunk, and none of that has anything to do with anything. But autism isn't getting better; it's getting worse. We're not paying attention. When in the 1980s autism was diagnosed 1 in 10,000, now it's 1 in 68.
Wow.
So what are we doing about it now too? And that's really what we're about as an organization. We're not about quote unquote curing autism. There are some charities out there that believe in that. We don't think our kids are broken. We think our kids don't get the services that they need and deserve. And that's kind of what we do. We try and give them the tools that they need. I often say that we ask our kids to build a home with a pair of scissors and a rock. It's impossible to do. It's a monumental task. But you give them what they need. You give them the tools. You teach them. You build them. And you really can see that if you invest in there today, it'll pay dividends down the line.
I know that there are different terminologies like high functioning and low functioning. And are all autistic kids able to reach a high functioning status, or?
Just first of all, as a premise, I'm not a big fan of the words high functioning, and that's not your fault. And there is no other real terminology that we have. It's a standard that we use. A high functioning child is one that is able to do more than a lower functioning child. Autism is referred to as a spectrum disorder, meaning that you can have any type of degree or severity of it. So you can have some kids that are very, very involved. And those kids typically are the older kids that we see now that never got the services, though there are still some kids that end up being very, very involved that are not reachable. Autism stands for the word self. That's what it means in Greek. And so you get these kids that are very, very involved, and you're hard to pull out. To all the way across the spectrum where you get somebody who's extremely high functioning, who's able to get out there and do lots of things. They say that behind every amazing invention that we've come across was probably somebody with autism that did it, because those are the people that can focus. They're very curious in what they're interested in, and when they're interested, they're all in. I mean, they are truly very, very involved, and when they get hooked on something, and that's really the onus on us as parents and us as a society to find out what it is in that child that is their interest, their particular spark, so to speak, so that you can really be the catalyst that ignites their future. It's pretty interesting.
Wow. I did hear that. At one point I heard that they thought that Einstein was on the spectrum.
Yeah, that's a theory. There's lots of famous people, I suppose, that Einstein is definitely the most famous, probably because he was a delayed talker too and was thrown out of school, didn't do well in school, and there's lots of reasons for that. I mean, look, at the end of the day, there are a lot of people that will say that there are kids that fall through the cracks in the school district that are doing very well, but just barely, get through, and they may have some degree of disability. It may not be bona fide autism per se, but it may have some sensory component in it, or it may have some autism-like things in it. One can argue too that we all have a little bit of autism in us too.
Or something.
We all have our coping mechanisms, and that's basically what we teach our kids on the spectrum, to have a coping mechanism, something that gets them through. And we all have that too. I know my coping mechanism in the morning is my coffee, whether it really works or not, but I know I need to have that.
Even if it's decaf, I know I'm drinking coffee.
Right,
so
right. If you gave me decaf and I didn't know it, I would think it's leaded, and I believe it.
And you think it's right, yeah.
So we
It's
all
just
have
as wine good.
right. So it's very interesting.
I do come across a lot more kids now. Maybe it's because I don't say we specialize in it, but we do teach music lessons, and one of the things that we do come across is a lot more kids with disabilities now.
Kids with autism love music, and that's a broad spectrum statement, but for a good reason, that it's not unusual to find somebody with autism that connects to music, that goes to the piano for the first time, hears something for the first time, and can play it for the first time, and play it like almost flawlessly. That's not unusual. Those are called savants, and then you have different levels of that too, where maybe it takes them 3 or 4 times, but they're playing it, and they don't never read music before in their life. I know for a fact, for me, music is very important. So when I listen to something, it appeals to me in a way. And my son, Eric, loves his iPod. His music helps kind of chill him, sets his mood, helps him cope with something. But he's got quite a range of the types of things that he listens to, and it's an equalizer music. He can play something, you'll say, I really like that. So I like that Jimi Hendrix song too. Well, now you talk to him about it, and now you've created an open conversation, and you've created an opportunity to communicate. So that's what I mean by an equalizer.
Well, yeah, they do seem very intelligent. It seems like it's there. You just have to be able to tap into that and get to it in the right way.
Yes.
But I do notice that with a lot of my students. I teach students with a lot of different disabilities and so forth, and autism, but yeah, it's like, it's there. It's just you have to figure out a way to tap it and get it to.
And it could be even as
work
something
for you.
as, that's not the instrument they want to play, but they're stuck with it for whatever reason, and they have to. And, if you gave them the drums instead, you'd have the next, I don't know, Tommy Lee or Charlie Watts. I mean, you don't know,
You don't know.
That's the beauty of our kids in many ways, is that their potential is untapped. And that's kind of, what we need to do more of as a society, and think about what they can do. We spend so much time focusing on what they can't do, but rather, engage them and allow them to shine, and give them the opportunity to do that.
Oh, that's great. So how would someone get involved in your foundation?
Well, you can go on our website and check us out. That's www.EJAutismFoundation.org or .com. We're readily, easy to find. And we have opportunities to do all kinds of things, which would be participate in our events, volunteer for our events, come up with ideas to raise money for us, work with us. We really kind of understand where the money needs to go, and because we are a charity, we're able to really do that. And we work with other charities too on Long Island, and that's a wonderful thing when everybody works together, so we can actually do some even greater good. But the opportunity is endless to be able to work with us in whatever capacity, whether it's volunteering directly or volunteering, on the internet way, putting it out there about us, getting us out on Facebook more, and tweeting about us. People need to understand that if you really invest in our kids today, you pave their future, and you really, help them grow into the people that they really can become.
Right.
We'll have to talk more and see if there's more we can do for you.
I love it. Yeah, next year we'll have to make this a stop instead of the Burger King.
That's right, absolutely.
And it's not like we eat in the Burger King. We do use the bathroom. Just saying.
Well, we do have a bathroom.
Oh, good.
Okay, so one more time, your email, your website.
It's www.EJAutismFoundation.org. We're on Facebook. You can find us that way too. And my name is B. Husta Peterson. I'm the founder of EJ Autism Foundation.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been really a pleasure. Thank you.
So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back right after this.
What's up, guys? We're Scared No Fear, and we're here with Inravio. If they catch you at a show with one of these bracelets, you will win $100. That's a lot of money. So get a bracelet.
Do whatever it takes to get that. Hit them up online.
Hey, I'm Raul Panther.
And I'm Commander B. Hawkins.
And I'm Mark Well. We're some of the proto men. If we see you without this bracelet, you're gonna punch in the. But if you have this bracelet from Inravio.com, you can win $100.
Put one of these on, or else.
It's always been important to us to have music a part of our lives, part of our children's lives. At Village Music Shop, Bonnie and Chuck have not only made it possible for our kids to learn and understand and read music and enjoy playing a musical instrument, but they've also made it fun.
I really like coming here. I like coming to Village Music because everybody here is nice.
And they've inspired some creativity and imagination and taught them discipline. And along the way, they've gotten some self-confidence, really been like a part of our family.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com.
Hey, this is Chris Les Jake, and if Inravio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com.
Welcome back.
And welcome back to the weekly show. So now we have, we're going to go to Sarah Martin at Long Beach International Film Festival with Steve Sharippa from The Sopranos.
Great interview. I loved it.
Well, actually, Steve Sharippa was interviewing her, but let's take a look.
EJAutismFoundation.com.
Sarah Martin, and I'm here with Steven Sharippa.
That's it. How are you?
How's it going today?
All right. I'm all sweaty, but I'm doing all right.
Oh, you're in, what, the Bronx Bowl?
No, I have been chasing yesterday,
Chasing yesterday.
and I didn't see the show tonight.
Oh, I actually just met the producer.
Let me do the interview. Hi, this is Steve Sharippa. I'm interviewing Sarah. Sarah, is this the first time you're at the festival?
This is my second time at the festival.
Have you seen any of the films?
I've seen a couple of the films. But you're here tonight, so can you tell
I'm
me?
here tonight. I've been chasing yesterday. It's a wonderful film. Courtney Baxter is one of the stars. Joe Pernice directed it. She produced it. A bunch of young people, and it was wonderful to work with them. Hosted the event tonight, and I love this film festival. I think it's going to be great. It's still in the new stages, and in the years to come, I think it's going to be better and better. And great for Long Island.
Well, I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us. And this is in radio television.
He's a great guy. I would have liked to spend some more time with him.
That was cool, right?
Yes, yeah, he was really, really good-natured. You know, he's a good guy.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have Rob Balducci with us.
What's up, guys? We're Scano Fair, and we're here with Inravio. If they catch you at a show with one of these bracelets, you will win $100.
That's a lot of money.
So get a bracelet.
Do whatever it takes to get that. Hit them up online.
It's always been important to us to have music a part of our lives, part of our children's lives. At Village Music Shop, Bonnie and Chuck have not only made it possible for our kids to learn and understand and read music and enjoy playing a musical instrument, but they've also made it fun.
I really like coming here. I like coming to Village Music because everybody here is nice.
And they've inspired some creativity and imagination and taught them discipline. And along the way, they've gotten some self-confidence, really been like a part of our family.
And we are back. Welcome to the weekly show. Thanks for joining us. So the last time I saw this guy, I had hair.
No, actually, you didn't.
No?
Nope.
That's true.
I have a picture.
Oh.
I have a picture
Of me without hair?
of you with Rob about maybe 10 years ago,
Yeah.
something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. There's Kyle's got it.
Yeah.
It's you and Rob together. Yeah.
So Rob, long time no talk and see. What's
There it
going on?
is.
Oh, there it is. Oh, look at that.
Oh, yeah. That must have been at NAMM.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was
I
the
remember
NAMM show.
that now. See, I
remember
have
that?
a good memory
Yeah,
sometimes.
I think it was you were playing at a hotel or something.
Yeah, the Hilton, right?
Yeah, you were playing at the Hilton, right? Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
That was a while ago, so.
Yeah.
So what have you been up to? What's going on?
Well, you know, it's been exciting. You know, I've most recently I finished a new CD, which is called 821 Monroe Drive, which is a local address out here in the islands in Huntington, Centerport, which is where I kind of grew up. So I kind of went back to my roots. I was there as a kid, you know, just learning about guitar. So I kind of tried to capture that inspiration, and that's why the album's named that. And you know, before that, you know, I really just been trying to do like this music thing, you know, independent music, you know, which is a hard thing to do, especially the way the industry is now. But you know, I keep it up, and you know, I just, you know, hopefully, you know, people as myself, I do, you know, support live music in venues and independent artists. I think it's important.
Yeah, you know, I mean, that's something that you and I have a lot in common because, you know, from Village Music Shop, we've been keeping the dream alive for quite some time now.
Yeah.
Village Music Shop's been around for almost 50 years. And you were in one of our first contests back in 1990, right?
Yeah.
So the Village Music Shop's New York's Best Guitarist contest that we held, at Spit in Levittown. There's a blast from the past name for you. And you were in that one contest that was there, and you won.
Yeah.
And you did great from that. You got a couple of special deals out of it. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, well, that was a great event. I mean, at that time, the Spit was like one of the big clubs to play on the island. That's where you guys were having the event.
Right.
And one specific thing I remember about that night is like the contest happened, and I was there hanging out with friends. I got up the stage, and there was other players that went on after me, and I just remember sitting there and probably had a little too much to drink at the time, and they announced my name, and I'm with my friend. They're like, "Rob, you won it." I was like, "What are you talking about?" He says, "Yeah, they announced it." So it took me a while to even register. Then I remember going up on the stage and realizing it sunk in that I won the contest, which was just, to me, it was a big deal. I think it was great. You had such a great organization, to the event. You had guitar for the practicing musician there, so I got in the magazine. You had like judges. I think it was Mitch Colby. You had D'Addario Strings, which is Don Dawson, which that ended up being like my first, musical endorsement, musical instrument endorsement was with D'Addario Strings, and I'm still with them to this day, endorsed since then.
That's great that we could help. And, that was one of the things and we spoke about this, that, we got contacted by Robert Rosenblatt, and people that don't know, he's like the godfather of marketing and media. And Robert Rosenblatt Agency is the one that does the promotions for the Grammys. So he's a promo king. And he contacted us, and he said, "I want you to start this for New York." It was the first time International Guitar Month was being done. And we took it, and that promotion that we did, in front of a wall of 14 Marshall 100-watt stacks, on stage in front of 5,000 people, on a Wednesday, and we packed the place out, and people stayed till 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, nobody left. I mean, the place was full, and they used that as a benchmark for contests around the country. The year after, they said, "This is what you need to do," and that's why everybody wanted to be involved in it, because it was. I had Andy Rossi, who now Andy Rossi was the CEO of. He was in charge of Fender. He was running Fender but at the time he was with Marshall. And he said to me, "I just want you to know, in my eyes, you're God." He said, he was all hooked up in the moment, and just even Keith Hart from Spit at the time, who was the promotions director there, he's like, "Whatever you want to do next year, you got it. If you want to do it on the Saturday, I'll give you anything you want." This was great. They were all excited. They were all caught up in the moment, and that was great. And that was the excitement that I tried to bring forth.
Yeah.
We had the music paper, we had Good Times magazine involved, and just all those amps on stage, and we set a Guinness Book World Record for that many Marshalls on the stage. That was the first time we used the JCM 900 series in a live application ever, and well, you know me now, and I do everything at 120%. I don't do anything, halfway. So, but no, it was great that you were able to, use that as a start-off point and a jumping-off point to get that far. And over the years, you've been playing with a lot of different companies and endorsees and stuff.
Yeah. I've once you start the ball rolling and you start to get things happening, that to me was like one of the events. Like, if I look back on my career, that was, to me, that's like the first major thing I think that happened for me, which it says a lot about you guys. So thanks a lot for putting that on. And after that, I started. That was 1990, and I was working with Ibanez Guitars at the time. Wasn't like a full endorsed member yet. And around the end of that year, I ended up. So it started with D'Addario, then I got endorsed with Ibanez Guitars, and I'm endorsed with Ibanez Guitars now. So everyone that I started with, I'm still with now. So it's over 20 years with Ibanez Guitars, D'Addario Strings. And, I started to, at that time I was working I was out of college, Five Towns College. I finished up Five Towns College, and I started to work at a record label. And that's I sort of tried to make some music connections. I wanted to keep the job related. If I was going to get a day gig, I wanted to revolve to music.
Absolutely.
So I got a job working at Relativity Records, and that's where I started to meet. You start to meet people. I met my attorney there, which is still my attorney to this day. It's Peter Shukat, Hafer, and Weber, and. That's how, and it was a guitar label, and Steve Vai had his records going through there. And, I started to, I had one record that was done in '95, which is the independent record that was distributed through there. And then, I got to associate with Steve through the label at one point, and I sent him the demos for my second CD, which is called Mantra, and he ended up wanting to put it out. So that started a relationship with his label, which is called Favored Nations, and I put 3 records out through his label, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
and just until recently now, the way the industry is, everyone's doing their own CDs now because it's just better for the artist, when you do it yourself now, because most of the time it's digital, download.
Yeah, well, as we spoke about, that's one of the things that we found. And, we spoke to a couple of record execs back in the day, and, we've been doing this for 10 years. And I'll never forget, we had R.J. Bucaria on from Sony, and we interviewed him on radio back when we were doing radio, and he said, so give us some pointers, from an artist, and I want to get out there and do my thing, and what do I need to do to get a record deal? And he gave us his pointers and stuff. He was on a year to the day. Right, remember? Mm-hmm. A year to the day, he came back on, and I said, so how's the music business treating you? He goes, the music business is dead. What music business? Yeah. Because, and I knew that because we had made the discussion, and I said with the online media, and I had the vision at the time that we were going to be going into TV, and we were, and that, it was going to be a big thing. Yeah. And it was going to take everything that we know, everything that was in status quo for so many years, and just shake it up and turn it around.
Yep.
And that's exactly what happened with it. It started with the music, and now it's working with the radio stations and TV studios, and now even cable companies with what we're doing. You don't need to have, hey, I got to be home at 7 o'clock to watch, this show. You don't need to do that. It's video on demand now. Yeah. You can watch it on your mobile device. You can get it through the internet. You don't need a cable coming into your house. There's so many different ways to get the content.
Yeah.
So he's actually now an advisor for us, R.J. Bucaria. So he's on board with us. He's our strategic advisor. So yeah, we try to keep people that work with us close to close to home, and we appreciate you coming back.
Oh no, this is great. I mean, it says a lot that the Village Music Shop is. I personally am a fan of. Call it mom and pop stores. You know what I mean? This store is amazing that you're still here under the circumstances with these big stores and all that stuff. I wouldn't even walk in those stores. I'd like to go to stores like you. Especially in New York. Like sometimes you go. Like I travel a lot, and if you go to like if you go to Dallas and North Carolina, you'll see more of a mom and pop type of stores there. But not you don't see it around anymore. Everyone's closing.
Well, it is hard to do, and we've been in business for almost 50 years, up against some of the biggest names in the world. So and thankfully to guys like you that go into stores like smaller stores like us, keep us alive, and that's what we do. And we have professional musicians that come in and they trust what we do.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a testimonial to what we've been doing. So what do you have in the future? What's the next step? Where are you headed?
Well, what we're doing now is, the new record is called 821 Monroe Drive, and so we've been kind of like, just trying to get our road legs going. We just finished up the Dallas Guitar Festival, so we did a show over there. We have some shows coming up, next Saturdays at Mexicali Live with another great guitar player. His name is Chris Duarte, which is a really cool blues guitar player. Then we're heading up to the Hard Rock in Niagara Falls in June, the end of June 25th. And also in Binghamton, I think, on June 24th. And then in July, I think July 4th weekend, we're actually going to be in the West Coast. I think Portland. So we're trying to get shows booked, you know. And but you know, it's not like. You know, you got to realize when you're dealing with independent music, independent artists, you know, it's not like we're going to go out for a year or 6 months. We go out for a week, 2 weeks, and then we stop, and then we go out and we get another bunch of shows. So that's the way it's got to be done, you know.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, with social media today, you probably find it a lot easier to put some of these gigs together.
Yeah. No, it definitely is. You know, the only thing, you know, and it's not to, you know, it's horrible to say that you know, we keep talking about how the industry is bad. I mean, it's not bad. It's just that there's a lot of venues that are actually closing. You know what I mean? So it's weird. You know, for an artist like me, you know, just say middle. If I'm in the middle, I'm here, and then you got like, you know, the big bands, you know, that are on the radio up here, and then you got the starting bands over here. There's tons of clubs for these guys to play, but when you come down to the middle level,
it's hard.
They're all closing up, so it's very hard, you know, to get, you know, that, you know, you got the good thing. There's like a BB King's in a lot of the areas. Right. So I played BB King's in New York. We played at the BB King's. We're playing the Hard Rock before we played at other Hard Rocks. So if it wasn't for those things and not like the, you know, the independent venues are you know, closing up. Look what happened to Philly. We had a gig book in Philly last year at. Oh God, I'm trying to think of the name. A famous place. It's been there for 25 years. Nirvana played there. 2 weeks before the thing, I get a call from the thing. They closed.
They closed. It's done.
Yeah.
They packed it in. You know, bars that's another business.
Yeah.
That's another tough business.
But I think it's all. All this is connected in some way.
There's a changing of the guard, and I think right now people have to look at things in a different way because things are changing. They're starting to morph.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I wouldn't say that the music business is bad. It's just very different, and we have to figure out how it's changed. And
we
how
have
it's
to
changing.
figure out how we need to work in this new world.
Yeah.
Because it is different. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you know, coming from, like, I worked at some record labels for at some point, you know, and the thing is, what I think really it is, and I think people are seeing that, is the age of the record label is over. Everyone knows that. But I think really what the record label is turning into now, instead of being a label, it's becoming more of a marketing company, so that they can help artists like myself and artists that are upcoming, because you don't need them to put out, you don't need the middle ground to put out the records anymore, because it's stupid for an artist to go to a label, get a record deal, and then pay for the production of the record when you could produce the record yourself through independent means for much cheaper. So then you know what happens is artists have to buy the record from the label when they go on tour, and they're going to pay $6 when they could put it themselves and pay, you know, less than $2.
Right.
So it's really the marketing that where I think what will happen is it'll help everybody, because even if you're a big huge artist, you still need a marketing behind you. So that's my take. That's what I think is going to happen, and I think you kind of see it happening like that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think you're right. And, you know, one of the things that's always been tough is that, you know, the equipment for the technology to record, for all the rest of that stuff, has been so out of people's reach. I mean, when we had the recording studio, you know, it was, you know, millions of dollars in order to make this happen, and you had to constantly keep upgrading. It wasn't like you just let it go once in a while, you know, oh, we'll skip a year, we'll skip a month. It was always, you always had to get the new stuff out.
Yeah.
Whether it was a new amp or new this and new that. We had old boutique amps, we had a whole amp room. It was ridiculous. I mean, it was just so much equipment that we had, and then we had to get, and we had to keep up on it and go and go. But now it's, you know, you open your laptop, you plug in a USB mic, you start playing.
I know.
You know, and then there's so much that you can do now on your own.
I know. When I look back, so this is my 5th CD. So when I look back at my first CD, I kind of lucked out when it came to the first CD. I ended up hooking up with a producer, engineer, and the studio, which was the Power Station, which is a huge studio in Manhattan. Now it's called Avatar. So I got to do my first record on a spec deal in that beautiful, huge studio. And then the second record, the same producer did it. I went and did it there. So I'm like used to these big rooms. I mean, it was so funny. You know, I'm in the studio you know, my debut CD, and there's AC/DC's like next door, like playing. I was like amazed, like what the hell's going on, you know? So you look at it back then, and then to my newest CD, where I did all the guitar tracks in my home studio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And is there a real big difference in the sound? There's not. You know what I mean? I almost think that because I've had the luxury of recording the guitar parts myself and not having to worry about a clock, that you get better guitar tones because I sit there and think what's better for this song, what kind of tone do I need, and I have the time to mess around.
Well, ultimately, that is the idea. You don't want to have to worry about, oh, geez, it's costing me another $100.
Right.
You want to make sure that you really come out of it with what you want. I mean, I've been in so many recording sessions where people just rushed it. And you try to be nice. You say, you really want to come in here and you really want to listen to this track. And sometimes they just don't, you know.
Yeah.
They don't get it. But yeah, it's sometimes it's all about the clock. And
yeah. I remember this funny story that you say there, because I was doing... I was doing it was my Color of Light record, which is my third record. We were in this different studio in the city, and the engineer was there, and I kind of blocked out the studio, and I don't know, I forget, we had like a really good rate, you know what I mean? But it was done. We negotiated a rate that was for the full recording, so mixing everything was all packaged in. So like we're sitting there, and the engineer's behind the thing, and he's like, Rob, can't you do this melody again in the song? And he says, can't we just copy and paste it for the next part? And I was like, no. I was like, no, we cannot do that. I was like, no, but you know, it needs a different nuance on the second part. He's looking at me like I'm nuts, but I mean, come on.
yeah, they're getting a little bit out of hand, right? With the, copy and paste is a little bit too much. Yeah. I get you.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's no shortage of that, that's for sure. So yeah, but you know, with technology sometimes comes, even with the technology, you still need to know how to mix.
Oh yeah, no.
You know, there's a creative art to that. You know, forget about it. You need, if you don't have it, it doesn't matter what kind of equipment you have.
Yeah.
You can have millions of dollars worth of equipment. I've heard some really good stuff come off of some, you know, really, you know, bad equipment.
Right.
So it all depends on how you approach it, what you do with it.
Yeah, I think everyone has a different ear, and you hear things differently. And I think really somebody that's producing and engineering, if they have the ear for it, it makes the world of difference. You know, somebody can have the best equipment, but if they're not hearing it, you know, it's not going to come out good. It's really that simple.
Absolutely. I mean, I had it sounds small now, but I had an 8-track, big old Scully 280 8-track, for anybody who knows what a Scully is, and 1-inch tape, and you know, we recorded Shannon, let the music play on that. We did Aerosmith on that. We did, you know, we had, you know, a lot of the stuff from the 80s. We did tons of bands on that machine. That machine had a lot of history on it. And came out great.
Yeah.
Came out great. We had Aerosmith in the studio. They took the studio for a whole month.
Wow.
Just before they had their big comeback. That was, you know, that's what brought them into the comeback.
That's great.
Another Village Music Shop success story. Because I had Jimmy Crespo from Aerosmith used to teach for me.
Wow.
Yeah, he worked for me, and the road manager used to work for me as well. And yeah. Back in the day.
That's great.
Well, that's great, Rob. Thanks for joining us. And this is the CD.
So
this is the one you're going to want to get. And this is now available on iTunes?
It's on iTunes. It's on iTunes. It's on you know, most of the downloadable websites, and you could also get it through. I have a website. It's www.robbalducci.com, and there you can actually get the physical CD. And with it, I have like special packages that you can only get through the website. So you can get like it comes with you can get a backing track version, which has like the leads and melodies out. If you're a guitar player and you want to play along, there's a special package that includes that.
Nice.
And it comes with a poster, a guitar pick, and a picture, and that kind of stuff.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Nice. Got to get my autographed Rob Balducci guitar pick. I feel like I'm all set to go now. Very cool. All right. So what about a website? You have a social media website? You want to put it out there?
Yeah. Well, again, it's RobBalducci.com, and then I'm on at Facebook. You know, there's 2 pages, but the band page, so it's the Rob Balducci Band, and then Instagram, it's Rob Balducci. It's pretty simple. Google, it's Rob Balducci. Google Plus, and
just Google Rob Balducci needs a pizza. He'll come down there.
That's it. Yeah.
That's good. Great. Well, it's great to see you again after all these years. We had a lot of fun. It was good.
Thank you so much.
And, you'll have to come back for sure.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
We got to do something. Maybe we could do something where I could do players.
Oh, I got plans now. Wait, the camera hasn't turned off yet. Wait, I've already thought about five things we need to put together. So, we're gonna have a little chit chat.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us again.
Thank you.
And we'll talk again soon. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Village Music Shop of Mastic. 1-800-HEY-DUDE, your full-service store with personalized attention, school band instrument rentals and sales, music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups, for guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop, 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com.
What's up, guys? We're Scano Fair, and we're here with Inravio. If they catch you at a show with one of these bracelets, you will win $100.
That's a lot of money.
So get a bracelet.
Do whatever it takes to get that. Hit them up online.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com.
It's always been important to us to have music a part of our lives, part of our children's lives. At Village Music Shop, Bonnie and Chuck have not only made it possible for our kids to learn and understand and read music and enjoy playing a musical instrument, but they've also made it fun.
I really like coming here. I like coming to Village Music because everybody here is nice.
And they've inspired some creativity and imagination and taught them discipline. And along the way, they've gotten some self-confidence, really been like a part of our family.
So thanks for joining us on the weekly show for this week's episode. And don't forget to check us out on Inravio.com, the weekly show. And on Facebook?
Inravio Weekly. Facebook.com/Inravio Weekly.
Right.
Everybody knows how that works.
And don't forget to go to the contest page because the Paramount Theater has tons of shows. And we're giving away concerts to every one of them. So you're going to want to get in there and get your name in there if you want to go to those shows. Remember, you need to be in New York, though, or at least fly into New York if you want to win those tickets, because
Because I ain't paying for you to get here.
yeah, we're not flying you in, that's for sure.
So a special thanks to our guests tonight.
Yep.
We had B from EJAutismFoundation.com, not AJ, EJ.
And world-renowned guitarist Rob Balducci in studio. So don't forget to check him out and check his music out. It's good stuff. He's a great friend of the Village Music Shop and the Inravio TV network. So until next week, this was the weekly show. We'll see you.
See you later. Bye.
EJAutismFoundation.com. Inravio.com.